The United States military is running out of missiles. If a major conflict erupted in the Pacific today, the forces deployed to counter it would be severely handicapped by a lack of long-range munitions, air defense interceptors, and basic maritime systems. Look at this chart projecting the inventory of long-range anti-ship and air-to-surface missiles in a potential Taiwan scenario. Within a single week, the stockpile is virtually gone. Recent operations in the Middle East have drained critical reserves of Tomahawk and JASSM missiles, leaving the bins empty before a Pacific fight even begins. Restocking those bins is painfully slow. Advanced munitions aren't built overnight. Complex weapons like the SM-6 Interceptor or the Tomahawk cruise missile require 3 to 4 years of manufacturing lead time, from signing a contract to receiving the first delivery. Across the Pacific, China's defense industrial base operates at mass scale. Beijing is actively churning out ships, aircraft, and tanks, backed by a tightly integrated domestic supply chain that is already operating on a wartime footing. The math is unforgiving. Without the physical inventory to sustain a prolonged fight, the ability to project power across the globe collapses. Understanding how nations prepare for conflicts requires looking past the political rhetoric and tracking the actual logistics. To keep up with the hard data driving global security shifts, make sure to subscribe to the channel. To close the munitions gap, defense planners are abandoning the idea of matching the Chinese Navy ship for ship. Instead, the focus has shifted to the porcupine strategy, arming allied territory with so many mobile defensive weapons that any invasion becomes mathematically ruinous to attempt. This satellite view shows the Taiwan Strait, the primary maritime corridor where this strategy would be tested. It is a choke point roughly 100 miles wide, separating the island from the Chinese coast. The tactic is to turn that water into what military commanders call an unmanned hellscape. This involves flooding the strait with thousands of cheap autonomous surface vessels, sea mines, and kamikaze drones, systems so simple that a high school graduate can deploy them. Executing a defense by denial strategy doesn't win a war outright. It bogs down an invading force, creates chaos in the water, and buys the US and its allies a critical month to mobilize heavier assets. Mobilizing those heavy assets requires geographical reach, leaning heavily on regional tech-sharing alliances. The AUKUS partnership is expanding its footprint in Western Australia, hosting rotational nuclear-powered submarines and uncrewed underwater vehicles, completely integrating maritime operations. Japan and Australia have also finalized a reciprocal access agreement. They are currently running dozens of joint activities across air, maritime, and cyber domains, effectively standardizing their logistics and command structures. America's ability to operate in the Indo-Pacific is no longer a unilateral project. It depends squarely on access to allied geography and the continuous sharing of military technology. Even with allied help, the core problem remains domestic manufacturing. To fix it, the Navy launched the Golden Fleet Initiative to strip away compliance-heavy bottlenecks and drastically accelerate ship construction. The Pentagon is issuing multi-year contracts. By guaranteeing long-term purchases, defense contractors finally have the financial stability they need to expand their facilities and retain specialized workers. The strategy also invites direct foreign investment. Friendly nations are providing capital and shipbuilding expertise to help the U.S. rapidly construct new, high-capacity shipyards on American soil. Building physical capacity and securing production lines is the foundation that makes all other military operations possible. Multi-billion-dollar aircraft carriers are incredibly powerful, but they are also massive, concentrated targets. Modern warfare favors distributed networks of smaller, mobile launchers hidden among hundreds of airfields and coastal roads. Equipping those distributed networks is proving difficult. There is currently a $32 billion backlog of weapons, including Harpoon missiles and air defense systems, that the U.S. has promised to Taiwan but failed to deliver. Compounding the delivery delays is a severe reliance on imported raw materials. The complex electronics and solid rocket motors inside modern interceptors require critical minerals that are overwhelmingly extracted and processed overseas. To secure these components, the government initiated Project Vault. The program takes direct equity stakes in foreign mining operations and aggressively stockpiles rare earth elements domestically. The ability to keep fighting past the first week of a conflict depends entirely on domestic stockpiles and self-sufficient supply chains. The push to expand shipyards, lock in multi-year contracts, and amass critical minerals is an attempt to force the industrial base into a wartime posture while the world is still at peace. By creating a bristling hellscape in the ocean and securing the logistics to reload those systems indefinitely, the alliance aims to make an invasion mathematically unjustifiable for Beijing. Weapons alone don't prevent conflicts. True deterrence exists when your adversary knows you have the factory floors and the raw materials to replace every missile you fire. Thanks for tuning in to Global Warwatch Network. Do you think the US and its allies can rebuild their manufacturing capacity fast enough to close the munitions gap? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. If you found this breakdown useful, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more deep dives into the logistics of global security.